Hello, gentles and ladymen. I'm Ulan the Bison, and I am joined by my good friend Dunamai. How's it going?
Fine. How about you?
Not bad at all. And we got a new update. We got a PUP update for a small April update. I was not expecting this. Usually they've been going for like 3 solid months before changing lately, and so I just woke up to this, and I am more than happy and pleased. And today we're going to be going over the public update preview. Now, for those of you who are somewhat who are not aware, I try to make 3 videos for each update. We go over the PUP, we go over the differences between the PUP and the update, if there are any, as a second video when the update comes out, and we go over shadow changes last to include all changes not included in the update patch notes. Anything to add, Junamai, before we get started?
This is the first version of the build, and you can expect some changes because shadow updates were already detected, and we have seen some bugs, so there might be changes down the line.
Okay, let's get into this. Game. Fixed an issue where the game would sometimes report being out of memory for particles. Yeah, I encountered this quite a few times, actually. It wouldn't actually, like, pause the game. It would, like, just kind of, it would catch you up by, it was kind of like a little bit of a lag thing, but it's good to see that that's gonna be fixed. Fix an issue where certain visual effects would incorrectly fly rapidly vertically off screen in rare cases and result in a crash. That's interesting. I've never seen that one before.
It's when you are sieging a town center, and sometimes, I swear, the torch would miss the town center and then just shoot straight for outer space.
I love it. It's perfect. It's aiming for the camera.
Exactly. I know you're there. I'm searching.
It's like, in order to beat our opponent, we have to beat their player. Having units be extremely close to buildings while throwing torches, for example, could result in the torch effects. Yep, there it is. That's exactly what you were talking about. Fixed a physics-related crash where maps like Anatolia caused a buffer overflow because they contained a huge number of separate cliff pieces. Okay. Treaty games especially could crash on this map, as well as multiple walls getting destroyed at the same time. Alright, good to know. General Conquistadors now inflicts 1 area damage with range attacks. Oh my god. Did they just become good?
They were decent already.
Yeah.
And
like, holy
now
shit.
I think they're going to be really good. And I think they won't be amazing against Cav. But the thing is, this also impacts shock infantry, and they have multiplier against it.
Yeah,
Conquistador are going to shred coyotes.
Yeah, oh my god. Siege damage increased to 14. 0 cost changed. 0 cost? What?
No, I think it's a problem. It's like they doubled their dot thingy.
Well, it's a food cost change, or no, it is a cost change just across the board. For 80 wood, 80 food, from 85 food, 75 woods. That's a bit of a nerf actually in their cost, which is good because they got a buff everywhere else, I suppose.
Mm-hmm.
Man, 80 wood is a lot of wood for a conquistador.
Yeah, but there's another thing that immediately comes to mind, is that Spain has a conquistador card in H2.
Oh, that's very true, yeah.
And Spain got buffed in H2 because of this. Like, this card might actually see play, against some natives, for example.
Absolutely. Including an extra area of effect without any other drawbacks? Like, holy shit. The drummer no longer affects artillery? Yeah, that's fair. Alright. Light infantry. Correcting the damage multipliers against shock infantry for the following unit types. Evzone, House of Finar, Lenape, Royal Arquebuser, and Volcano Rifleman. Okay, so I guess those ones didn't properly get nerfed, but now they are. Got it.
Yeah, there was some weird thing. Like, there's 2 tags for shock infantry. Won't go into details, but they put the wrong tag, basically.
Red Sea Wagon for the Somali can now build Lombards for the Italian civilization. Okay, that's cool, but you still haven't allowed the Stable Wagon you can get on Korea to build commanderies for Malta. It just doesn't build anything. Royal Hunter.
You might have to report it, actually. I think they try to streamline this.
Ah. I suppose I could. I probably should put that in the bug report. So for those of you who don't know, on the map Korea, you can sometimes get barracks, castle, or stable wagons as treasures. But if you get a stable wagon as Malta, you can't build anything with it because they don't have access to any building that is an equivalent of a stable, even though they do train cavalry out of their commandery. So you actually just can't build anything, and it's a worthless treasure. Royal Hunter, House of Oldenburg. The military upgrade of the Royal Huntsman can now be trained in batches. Thank God! That was my biggest issue with Oldenburg. This was my biggest issue with Oldenburg, is that you could militarize your Royal Huntsman, but you still had to train them one at a time. And it made it just worthless. But now that seems like actually usable now. Thank fuck. Alright, Royal Dragoon House of Bourbon, rate of fire improved to 2.5 to reduce the delay of the setup animation. Okay. Sure.
It's pretty noticeable. The Royal Dragoon had a very long setup animation to compensate for, because it has an insane range. I think it's 18 when you upgrade it. So they had to, add more delay to make it so it cannot just kite away everything.
Gotcha.
They buff it a little because they went overboard, basically.
Range damage increased to 18 from 17.5. Why would you use decimals for base damage? I think that base damage values should be flat numbers across the board, always. Line of sight corrected to 20 up from 18. Got it. Okay. Shipments.
It's actually a big buff for the Royal Dragoon.
Yeah. Just because the rate of fire, that's huge. I went over how big of a difference the 2.25 makes for carbine cavalry earlier today when I released that video.
Mm-hmm. That's not exactly the same, but pretty much in the same spirit.
Mm-hmm. Shipments corrected the arrival time of several shipments, including all battleship cards that now arrive in 60 seconds, up from 40 as intended. Wow, okay. So maybe the Age 3, the Age 3 Fast Fortress with Germany straight into the mercenary battleship on the forward pawn in New England is not as great anymore. If you gotta wait another 20 seconds. It's already not the fastest age up in the world. It's already not the fastest thing in the world,
Mm-hmm. To be fair, it's a mercenary. It should be 60 seconds, so I guess it's fair.
The mercenary contractor now increases the attack and hit points of outlaws by 50% as expected. Wait, what? So outlaws can get another imperial buff besides using Wild West or Folk Heroes? If they go up with the mercenary contractor?
Yes.
What? Excuse me? That's ridiculous.
There's potential problems for some African outlaws, for example.
That means that if you go up with the mercenary contractor, you can get a 100% unit buff if you've already researched Folk Heroes.
So basically, we did some testing. I did some testing on the PUP, and right now the Desert Archer has 43 attack in H5, and the long range attack is 72 attack for a 1 PUP unit.
Jesus Christ! I mean, it is H5s. That's 72 is high, but 43 is not.
43 at 1.5 rate of fire. So this is the equivalent of almost
never mind.
90.
Yeah. That needs to get fixed. There's no way that's gonna make it to the final patch, right?
I certainly hope so.
A 100% stat buff to Age 5? Are you kidding me? Oh my god.
I mean, it's Age 5. The problem is, in 3D, people might not like it, but more often than not, people play 3D with Andes, and Andes have terrible outlaws, so you don't really care about it.
I don't think, because the thing is, I don't think New York affects outlaws. I'm 99% certain that New York for USA doesn't affect their outlaws. So this just makes European outlaws better than USA ones in the late game, which is weird. Zepatech Lightning Warrior. Corrected an issue resulting in units obtaining SIM cards that have more hit points than those available at Zepatech settlements. Kind of cool.
It's the 20 HP nerf.
Got
to
it.
be precise.
Civilizations. Aztec. Fix an issue that causing the Imperial Age upgrades to be applied to Eagle Scouts in the Industrial Age. Oh. I didn't realize that was a Imperial upgrade. That means they only shadow tech in the Fortress and Imperial Age. That really sucks. Town Center Big Buttons. Lower the cost of big buttons in the Town Center to be in accordance with the new cost of Jaguar Prowler Knight. Oh my god, it's usable again! Huh.
So it's now 400 food, then food coin, then food wood coin. And before it was 480.
Yeah. Thank god, man. That was ridiculous. That was ridiculous. It made it, like, completely unusable. I'll be right back. I need to blow my nose.
No problem.
Okay. So, very, very slight nerf to Aztec Age 4 fighting capabilities, but a significant boost to the Age 2 defensive capabilities of Aztecs, which is great, because it's really weird to say, but unless you do some very specific things, Aztec, like, have no defensive capabilities when you push into them. They are, like, one of the weakest and most fragile civilizations, unless they specifically are building around defending you, in which case they're, like, impossible to push into in Age 2. It's kind of weird. But lowering the cost of the Jaguar Prowler Knights is actually a big deal.
To be fair, they added the 10 XP on the warrior, and that did hit them defensively.
Dutch States Army now also makes infinite mercenary cards arrive faster. What is Dutch States Army again?
Your mercenary shipments and your mercenary train and move faster, but every normal Dutch unit except grenadiers cost more. Like pikemen, hussar, halberdiers, and skirmishers.
Okay.
Also fighters.
Thank you for the refresher. And Buck Riders, Age 2, cost reduced to 250 coin from 500 coin. Okay, that's the new Highwayman one. Yeah, 500 was way too much. I don't know what they were thinking. I really don't.
I think they went overboard because they didn't want people to abuse it, and now it will just see play or exploration, I think.
Yeah, absolutely, because 500 was way too fucking much. And 0, granted, was OP. I fully admit that, but, like, 250, it's about right, I'd say.
Yeah, fair change.
Ethiopians, Italian firearms, now affects the Sebastopol mortar as intended. Italian firearm. I'm not familiar with any of these, with a lot of these shipments off the cuff.
No problem. Italian firearms is the one that gives 3 little bombard, but it also improved the area of effect of all artillery except Colibrin by 25%.
And previously it didn't affect the Sebastopol mortar, the primary Ethiopian artillery unit. That's really funny.
Yeah, but the thing is, Sebastopol already have a huge area of effect, so I'm really curious to see how it will perform.
Well, they've been really trying to make it, like, good again, which I'm pretty happy with, because it's one of the coolest artillery pieces in the game, honestly, and I want more chances to kill it. That's only going to happen if it's good. Alright.
And to be fair, it has a terrible multiplier against artillery, so Colivrin absolutely wreck it.
Stranger's Quarters is now set to active by default in post-Imperial games. Not super familiar with that tech, but my guess would be it's like the 100 pop one or something like that.
I think it is, yeah.
Germans, Prince Electors, fixed an issue with the Oldenburg Royal Hunter costing no population slot. Okay. Fixed an issue with missing unit upgrades occurring when also being applied to German royal houses on the map. Okay. Allying to the same royal house on the map and in the native embassy will now increase the unit build limit. Yeah, that makes sense. It should do that. Okay. Those are all straightforward. I'm not going to go over any of those. Haudenosaunee, Anna. Now shoot arrows faster the closer the target is, and range attacks benefit from target lock. Whoa, that's big. It's a big deal.
Yeah, at the minimum range of the ranged attack, you are at 1 rate of fire.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
That's crazy. Anna, dangerous, man.
On a civ that use them to rush, I'm really looking forward to see how they deal with this one.
Alright, the age 4 of 5 Cuirassiers is now 8. That's rightfully so. 11 Renegade Dutch now sent 20 Halberdiers from 11, but cost changed to 1,500 coin. I don't know what the cost was before, but it was probably not 1,500 coin, would be my guess.
I don't remember, but I can tell you because the game is open precisely for that.
A 20 industrial halberdier attack is so that's a big boost units right there.
So it was 1,000 coin according to the game.
Okay, yeah, that's perfectly justified. Moving up to 1,500. 20 industrial halberdiers. That's a big shipment right there.
Yep.
Alright, 22 Lenape allies now rise in 60 seconds, up from 40 as intended. Okay. North American trade moved to age 3. North American trade. I swear, I actually played a little bit of Haudenosaunee. I'm trying to remember what this one was. Is this the one that increases the yield you get from wood by like a shit ton?
No, this is the one that generates coin when you hunt.
Got it.
So right now it doesn't work. It's still H4.
Okay, so they'll fix that before the patch comes out.
Yeah, 100%.
Covenant Chain cost reduced to 2,000 coin from 3,000. Okay, but now sends 4 Irish Brigadiers down from 8, 4 Highlanders, 3 Arquebusiers, and 2 heavy cannons. No changes. This card is now infinite. Oh wow. Okay, that's a pretty crazy shipment. I'd say that's pretty worth it now.
Yeah, because removing 4 Irish Brigadiers is like
for 1,000 coin and the option to make the card infinite. Like, holy shit, that's a good card now.
Now it's pretty decent, yeah. And also, by the way, it's an infinite 2 heavy cannon shipment.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I'm oogling over it. Hausa! Bologna Archer. Damage multiplier versus heavy infantry increased. Ow, man. Stranger's Quarters, same thing as Ethiopia. Okay. Inca, Concha House. Hit points decreased! No! No! How could they do this to my Concha House?
But...
Wow, way to immediately outdate my fucking Concha House placements in the tier list that I made 2 days ago. Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah, but look at the end of the sentence.
And cost to 170 wood from 180. Yeah, cool. But the hit points. I mean, I know the cost the cost is better, but that makes it well worth it. But like, I just made a house tier list video where I was praising the Concha House for being really big and having 2,000 hit points. I made a note that it was one of the houses that couldn't be destroyed in one hit by petards, and now it can.
Maybe they've listened to your April Fool's video and like, actually...
only if they also lower the Manor House. Because the Manor House is one of the others that is invulnerable to petards from one hit. Monumental Architecture, that's moved to age 3. Really? I don't think anybody was really sending that, but okay. Royal Festival, big button. This big button, delivering 1 maceman per 4 minutes of game, now costs 250 of each resource, down from 500. Or for 3, 4, and 500. Yeah, cool. Sweet. Big, all for that. Inca buffs. We love to see them, except for the Concha House. But, you know, even though it's technically a buff, like, if 2000 HP, how dare you? And Soupe Ceremony. Maceman spawn time reduced by roughly 30%. Okay, so, yeah, they finally realized that the Maceman dance was shit. And they opted to try to change that. Does this make it actually good now? You play more Inca than I do.
To be honest, I never ever activated the most Maceman spawn time. I'm like, I can just train them.
Yeah.
Let me just do something actually useful with my community plaza.
The Skull Knight one, on the other hand, for Aztec, like, there's a huge reason you want to do that, because the Skull Knights are insanely good, and there's no other way to get them, you know?
Yeah.
Indians, the Azap of the Ottoman Consulate, improved the rendering speed of Azap visual. Okay, sure. Derivative Martial Arts, fixed an error that granted Sepoys plus 5% melee damage in the volley stance. Okay, interesting. Derivative Martial Arts, by the way, is like the wackiest fucking card. It affects so much more than you realize. A lot of people just think of it as people just think of it as the you know, the not Mansur, Rajput upgrade card. But, you know, a lot of people forget that it's also basically another, like, 15% combat card for elephants, which is crazy, you know.
Yeah, and it's all unit melee attack.
But you know what's not a melee attack but still boosted by a Dravidian martial arts?
No.
Petard explosions.
What the hell?
Yeah, they gain about 240, 260 damage on their Petard explosion from derivative martial arts.
Meaning you can now knock down Manor House.
Yes, exactly. They have like 1860 attack. It's great.
Take that, Brits.
Yeah, fuck you, Brits. Alright, Italians. Architect. Hit points reduced. Okay. Initial build limit reduced to 2 from 5, and now increases by +1 at every age up. Wow. So the max build limit is now 6 in the Imperial Age? Got it. Very cool.
I'm super happy because I think when we were discussing about it, this very idea came up in the Sunbros Discord. Like, at the beginning it was like 1 + 1 for every age, and people were like, yeah, but people would like to train maybe, you know, an architect, explore some build in age 1, so maybe 2. And we are on point with that. And I don't know, I think the dev thought about it independently, but, you know, it's really nice to see that our ideas about what maybe should be implemented about the game are not so far off.
There sure are a lot of coincidences when I read these patch notes when it comes to videos that I have recently made, or the Civ grid getting recently released, and then, oh, look at that, there's a whole bunch of devs in the Discord server, and then stuff that you guys say immediately becomes patch notes. Like, there's a lot of coincidences like that. It's hard to tell what is and isn't a coincidence, but I fully believe that I am the reason that that Inquisitors got nerfed repeatedly. That's the big one I take credit for.
And in any case, if that's the developers, you know, listening to us, I'm very glad they do it, because we really try to gather feedback. It's just not us like saying like, this is shit, let's just fix it. Like, really thinking about what's wrong with that, how is that frustrating. We really have these really interesting discussion in the Age of Bison Discord. So link in the description, by the way.
Also, for the Architect, now builds outposts in 170 seconds, up from 150, town centers in 270 seconds, up from 250, and walls in 12 seconds, up from 10. Yeah, cool. I've encountered this a little bit, where Italians will just get 5 Architects immediately, and then just build outposts up everywhere, and you can't stop them. So maybe this will help out maybe this will help out a little bit. So I'm all for
this. Is 100% help out, because remember they can only make 3 in H2.
Yeah, that's right. This will be a huge help. The Italian like super turtle is going to be a little bit harder to perform now. Good catch. All right, Lakota, North America trade moved to H3. Very cool. Moving on. Barbacoa for Mexico. Age 1. Now causes all livestock to fatten more quickly when gathering from a hacienda. Okay. Coach Guns Baja Revolution now ships 3 Banditos and 3 Cuatreros instead of Renegados and Comancheros. Okay, that makes sense. Those are the Mexican units. It was weird that they didn't before. Criollos, Age 2, now rise in 40 seconds, down from 60 as intended. Criollos, which card is this?
The 9 Musketeers.
9 Musketeers, got it. And Plan of Miramare, Age 4, now increases Bandito range by +2 as intended. I don't know what that card is either.
It transforms your Saltieros, I think, into skirmishers, like French skirmishers.
Got it.
And it increases the range of every skirmishers before it will accept the Bandito by +2.
Got it.
And now it also includes Bandito.
Ottomans, a zap improves the default attack animation. I'm assuming that a zaps now fire like fucking Yumis or something like that.
Essentially, yeah. Like it's 0.2 seconds. So basically, they got their H4 card for free.
So 0.2 seconds. So it's basically like now it's basically like sharpshooters for USA, where there's a slight delay, but it's like barely noticeable.
Oh, I think it's even better than sharpshooter. I think crossbowmen.
I mean, sharpshooters and crossbowmen are pretty comparable in fire animation.
All right, then sharpshooters.
Okay. Kipi Kulu Core, H4 Palace Intrigue. Cost increased to 2,000 food, up from 1,400, but now also delivers 5 spot heat, up from 4. Got it. And then I don't know how to pronounce anything. Ottoman. I'm trying, folks. I'm American. Fuck you. Matriki School, Age 2. Replace the placeholder icon with the correct one. Okay.
So I think
that's got to be like their fencing school or something like that, right?
Yeah, it's their fencing school. And I think it's like, what, the 6 Ottoman buff? I don't know.
Yeah,
maybe
the big question is, with the exception of Zaps, I'm all for Zap buffs because nobody uses them and I want to see them more. But, like, why? I actually, I suppose this one is kind of a nerf, but, like, I actually suppose they didn't really get buffed too much in this. I'm not gonna lie. I don't see too many buffs. But, like...
The AZAP is gonna be really interesting, because the second you see a Dragoon, now you can hit it.
Yeah, that's true. I am very excited to see more AZAPs. I really want to see them, and I think they're a very underutilized Ottoman unit. Portuguese! Now start the game with +50 food. Hey, there you go. I'm sure Platt's happy about that.
He's very happy about that. It's made to compensate the fact that they don't have their hunting bonus anymore. And I think it's fair. Like, Portuguese needed a bit of love after the hunt nerf.
Yeah, and they got the bare minimum amount of love. Alright, the 15% extra combat for Lanero switched to the Constable shipment. Good to know. Spanish. The Viceroyalty of New Spain. Soldados are now balanced. Oh, whoa, guys, we can stop reading right there. Woo! Soldados are balanced. No, I'm kidding. Soldados are now balanced with regular combat values, minus 10%, and need to be updated manually to guard an imperial status in the Hacienda. What? The Hacienda? Oh, Spanish. Right, okay. Got it. So they don't get their extra 10% bonus that they get for being a extra unit, and you need to research the guard and imperial upgrades manually. They no longer shadow tech. That's an interesting one. The Mexico...
No shadow tech, I think it's good, but honestly, the fact that it's not a consulate unit, I think it's a bit too much. But honestly, I think it's just the backlash for like 6 months of blaming the Soldado FI, so I guess that's fair.
I was the first one to call out that it was OP, and nobody believed me for 6 fucking months, and then it sprung up everywhere. Spanish Square, Age 4. Corrected an issue that allowed sending this card a second time in the Imperial Age. Okay. Speeds!
So it's actually a big deal,
Oh,
Spanish
okay.
PUP, because it increased the melee and range resist by 10%, and you could send it twice
For which units? Which units did it
for
affect?
the pikes.
Oh
So
yeah, twice.
you
You
could
could get
have
like
like
20% ranged, 40% range, 20% melee resistance pikemen.
so 30 melee and 20 range, which is really good for a pike.
Yeah, no kidding. Speeds, Gustavarian Guards. Cost increased to 1,700 food from 1,500. So this is a direct nerf probably to the fish rush.
I don't know if it's just the fish rush, but if it is, I'm so proud of this one.
Congratulations, Dunamai. You can join me in the almost surely affected directly by me nerfs.
I take this as a badge of honor.
Oh yeah, that's exactly how I took the Inquisitor nerfs, man. They nerfed Inquisitors like 4 fucking times across 4 fucking patches. Alright, United States. Dutch immigrants cost reduced to 300 coin from 350. French immigrants cost reduced to 225 from 250. And Oklahoma Black Mesa cost reduced to 200. Nobody's gonna send that anyways, it's fine. But wow, okay, so a little bit faster age 1 then. Okay. 25 less wood to chop. I'm all for that, you know.
And it's really nice. Make it smoother. Not sure USA needed buffs, but let's see what happens. And honestly, Oklahoma Black Mesa, we might see a bit of outlaw plays. People, exploring it, at least.
I don't think so. Oklahoma Black Mesa is so terrible of a card. I don't think this is going to make any difference. It's really hard to underestimate just how terrible that card is. It used to cost 1,000 wood for reference, and now it's down to 200, and it's still bad.
Maybe it's gonna get the ASAP treatment and like 10 patch, like it takes 10 patch in, we'll have like now ships 4 heavy cannons and cost 2 coin.
Alright, this has been the video, gentles and ladymen. We'll make another video when the official update comes out, going over all the changes from the initial PUP, and then if there are enough shadow changes to make relevance another video, then we will do that. Do you have anything to say, Mr. Dunamai?
No, have a nice evening, guys.
Okay, have a good day.
Still my heart beats again and again. I'm always searching for love with no sense within my head. Till that day when I see that I met the most amazing demon